This is weird. I've never done like documentary style. I'm usually like very scripted. Koda Iron Games 2023. This is the third iteration, third year we're doing this. We've got teams of 3, both RX and scaled. We've got Masters Co-ed that we added last year. So we're super pumped to do this for the third time. Casey and I and Riley also love competing in the sport of CrossFit. We love the competitive aspects. So it's really fun to host it and be like on the organizer side and knowing what the athletes go through and just trying to like, set it up for success where athletes are gonna have a great time and get a great competition experience.
From a gym owner's perspective, you should have a lot of your members in the gym participating both in the competition as athletes, but also helping out as volunteers, judges. So more than anything, highlight the community because it takes an entire village to put on a good event.
We held off on running a competition for a lot of years just because like we knew how much work it was. And we knew that if we were going to do it, we wanted to do it right in every aspect of it. And so it is a ton of work, but it's so much fun running the competition.
What are you doing over here?
I'm just trying to get rid of all the weeds so it looks very good. Yeah, gardening at the gym.
Every year we've done Friday Night Lights. The saying of Friday Night Lights, usually relates to football on Friday nights in high school. But for us here, it's like, let's try to replicate somewhat of that same feeling in a CrossFit competition.
I always like when I'm doing a competition if it starts off with a lift. It's definitely stressful that way, but you're fresh, you want to lift some heavy weight, you're excited, you got the adrenaline pumping, so hopefully that results in a lot of PRs.
There's something to be said for testing fitness under fatigue or testing lifts under fatigue, but local competition, we want to see everybody hit their big lifts when they're fresh. You come out when they're excited and the adrenaline's pumping. We want to use that to their advantage and hit some big lifts.
I'm excited for that last barbell. It's going to be really tough for most divisions to get to that last barbell, to even have one person get there. But anybody that gets to that last barbell, if they hit that weight, there's going to be some really cool celebrations, a lot of excitement. The first 2 years that we've done Koda Iron Games, we always do a sprint workout to finish up Friday night. We've made it be like pain cave style the last 2 years where it was like extremely painful. This one shouldn't be quite as painful. It should be a really fun workout to do.
What I love about it from a programming standpoint, whoever's winning on Friday night does not mean they're going to be winning at the end of the day Saturday. Completely different feel. Friday night, you have the crowd, you have the lights, you have people kind of like on top of people watching and yelling and spectating, and then Saturday morning, you're in a huge open field. There's this like sense of kind of serenity. There's this huge mountain backdrop. It's just gorgeous out there, and you're kind of like the opposite of Friday Night Lights. 2 totally different just experiences altogether.
So it's kind of funny, last year, we had contacted Boulder County to try to see like what fields were available for our competition. We're like, man, it'd be really cool to do an offsite event. That one, we went and checked it out. We're like, this view is awesome. And then this year we were like, that was sweet, let's do that again. There's a lot of strategy on that workout, a lot of teamwork.
You can't hide.
Strategy, Katie runs them all.
You guys are strong.
So Katie ran the whole time?
Yeah.
Execution? Perfect.
Athlete 1 will be the only one running the first lap. Athlete 1 and 2 will run the second lap, but you have a kettlebell that you have to share. Then all 3 athletes will, depending on the division, some of them are sharing a sandbag and a kettlebell. So if you're running with that heavy sandbag, it's not going to be really running very fast. That last lap where you drop all the equipment and all 3 of you run together is gonna have some fun like photo finishes, but also some good pain faces. At least 1 out of the 3 athletes just being deep in the pain cave trying to run fast.
we might see some pretty good, I don't know, collisions at the end of the workout there.
Quick transition period before the second part. That one is going to be pretty heavy sandbag. So you got to do a bear hug carry with the sandbag and then some sandbag over shoulder. And then once all three people are done, get to handstand walk, but only one person working at a time.
It's a nice twist. You know, you might be able to get grindy and get in the pain cave and deal with it, but then can you also recover enough to have a really high skill movement like handstand walk?
Yeah, that turf, you know, getting later in the day for some of those athletes, so that turf might be kind of hot, but it's definitely pretty squishy. It's a different handstand walk.
I think the sandbag cleans are gonna sneak up on people way more than they realize. And I think we're gonna see some failed reps. I think people are gonna pick it up and drop it immediately. And I think we're gonna see a lot of people struggle, they'll get it over their shoulder, and then they'll have to stand there and look at the bag like, I'm not ready to lift this yet. We gotta have one workout that's kind of like, all right, there's no way to hide. You're working the whole time. It's a team competition, but everyone's working. And this is that event for us.
Yeah, so. Machines and burpees. That one's gonna hurt. If that one doesn't hurt, then we didn't strategize correctly. If one person's hurting really bad, then that's not very good communication with the team. It should be where all three people are hurting pretty good by the end of that one. If somebody comes out hot, it's going to be pain faces all the way through that workout, which I could definitely see some people coming out hot.
Some people are going to really hate it, and some people are really, really, really going to hate it. I don't think anybody's going to really enjoy it, and that's okay. You have this great game plan going into the weekend for every event, and by the time you get to event 5, most of your game plans have completely changed.
A little bit for everybody on that one. Totally different variations depending on the division, but there's going to be synchronized barbell for every division with thrusters and with front squats. So a lot of people are going to love that barbell. The opposite end of the spectrum is going to love that gymnastics. So
not only are we testing the skills of gymnastics, we're also testing how well you can sync up with your partner. So this is high skill, but also you have to do it synchronized. All divisions have to do at least some of it, most of it, synchronized.
A ton of reasons why we run this competition. It's a lot of fun for us to run it, but it's really cool to bring the whole community together, not just the Koda community, but surrounding gyms. On top of that, it's really cool to see people, you know, kind of accomplish some things that they didn't think were possible.
My pound PR. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Haven't clean and jerks 205 in like 4 years.
Really?
Yeah. So that's like a post-knee surgery PR for sure.
Excited for the very final end of the competition when, you know, we give out the podium prizes and everybody's, you know, excited about like a fun weekend and ready to go home and maybe drink a beer and eat some pizza or something like that.
Whenever everything was over, we handed out all the awards, it was like, hey, we're done. It was like this overwhelming sense of just pride in the community, because it does. It takes a whole village to do something like this. Like, there's no way that Kevin and I could do this on our own. We couldn't even do it with half the people that show up. We need every single person that shows up, from athlete to volunteer to judge to sponsors to just support. So that sense and feeling is from a gym owner's perspective is just awesome. You just look back and you're super proud. We have an army of folks running the show, and we brought Riley on this year as kind of like a, you know, third man at the top, trying to kind of help run it. But even with us three, it's not us three that make this thing happen. It's everybody involved that makes it happen.
Seeing it all like come to fruition and all come together, and all the spectators, all the volunteers and the judges, all the athletes, gonna be really cool to see it all come together.